I can't wait to see the ratings for this. Because I did see that the Caitlin Clark fans / Fever fans are now the overwhelming majority of the fandom.
DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, and A'ja Wilson were supposed to represent the elite core of a thriving league. But instead of being celebrated for their skill, they became the faces of discontent, of dwindling attendance, of a sport struggling to keep its audience awake. The arena, dimly lit and half empty, didn't just expose a few empty seats, it exposed the growing emptiness between the league and its fans. When A'ja Wilson stepped onto the court that night, she carried the weight of expectation. The reigning MVP, the face of Las Vegas, and for years the WNBA's crown jewel. But as she glanced around and saw more gray seats than cheering fans, something inside her seemed to crack. The fire that once fueled her dominance turned into frustration. Every echo of the ball against hardwood became a reminder that the WNBA's biggest stage couldn't even fill its own room. And that's when the uncomfortable truth hit everyone watching, the WNBA without. Caitlin Clark just doesn't feel the same. It's not a knock on the veterans. It's not even a slight against Wilson's greatness. It's a reflection of a shift that's already taken place. A cultural pivot that no amount of denial or league spin can undo. When Clark plays, the world watches. When she doesn't, it scrolls past. Even as Wilson tried to hold her composure, cameras caught glimpses of her irritation. Missed shots became personal. Every whistle sounded heavier. Every timeout felt like an unwanted pause in a nightmare she couldn't wake from. This wasn't the atmosphere of a champion defending her title. It was the silence of a queen realizing her kingdom was slipping away. The same media that once praised her poise now dissected every grimace and towel slam. Her anger wasn't inspiring. It was unraveling into public meltdown. And while she vented on the bench, Caitlin Clark, miles away, was trending worldwide. The irony was brutal. Clark wasn't even playing, yet she dominated the conversation. Hashtags, highlight reels, and fan posts all revolved around her name. Side-by-side photos went viral, packed Fever arenas during the regular season versus the ghostly emptiness of the WNBA finals. One viral comment said it best: "One player is the league. The rest are just renting space." Cruel? Maybe, but it captured what millions felt, that without Clark, the WNBA loses its heartbeat. As the game dragged on, broadcasters scrambled to sell the product, praising defense, intensity, team chemistry, but even their voices lacked conviction. You could hear the echo of the ball. The arena noise felt artificial, pumped through speakers to hide the silence. Meanwhile, ticket resale sites showed seats going for less than $40, a finals price lower than some minor league games. Fans joked online, "You can buy a finals ticket and still have enough left for popcorn and gas." For Wilson, this wasn't just about attendance. It was about relevance. For years, she'd been the standard, the one the league built its marketing around. But now the narrative had changed. Clark had shattered the mold, bringing in millions of new fans, national media coverage, and corporate sponsors who saw dollar signs in her name. And while Wilson had the resume, Clark had the cultural pull. That kind of power shift doesn't just bruise egos, it reshapes entire industries. By the post-game interview, Wilson's frustration couldn't be masked. Her answers were clipped, her tone defensive. She spoke about respect, about effort, about how fans should show up for women's basketball, but the words rang hollow. Fans don't respond to lectures, they respond to connection. And that's exactly what Caitlin Clark gave them. A reason to care, to believe, to invest emotionally in the game again. As memes flooded the internet, the finals transformed into a public roast. Users mocked the historic matchup that nobody watched. Some joked that the arena staff outnumbered the fans. Others compared the atmosphere to a church league scrimmage. When even fellow athletes from the NBA were liking posts mocking the finals, the message was clear: this wasn't just a bad turnout. It was a crisis of credibility. Inside the league offices, that reality couldn't be ignored. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, once eager to take credit for surging ratings during Clark's rookie season, was suddenly nowhere to be found. No statements, no explanations, just silence. And that silence spoke volumes. Fans noticed. Sponsors noticed. Even the NBA noticed. Adam Silver, whose league bankrolls the WNBA, reportedly wasn't happy. This wasn't just bad optics. It was financial embarrassment. Silver had invested millions into turning the WNBA into a viable product, not a political soapbox or a vanity project for aging stars. And now, with declining viewership, online mockery, and internal division, the league's future looked uncertain. Behind closed doors, insiders whispered that Silver was preparing for what they called a course correction, a polite term for leadership overhaul. The uncomfortable truth is that the WNBA's veterans, once the league's pride, have become its biggest challenge. Their resentment toward Clark isn't just jealousy, it's fear. Fear that the game has passed them by. Fear that the fans they once thought were theirs have found someone else to root for. Fear that the new era has arrived, and they're no longer its heroes. But that's the evolution of every sport. The old guard resists, the new guard rises, and the audience decides who stays. Caitlin Clark didn't just bring fans, she brought accountability. She exposed how disconnected the league had become from its audience. She made fans care again, and that care came with expectations. They wanted humility, passion, and authenticity, not bitterness and excuses. By the time the final buzzer sounded, the damage was done. The score didn't matter. What mattered was the message. A league that claimed growth but couldn't fill its own finals. A superstar who demanded attention but couldn't inspire it. A commissioner who preached transparency but vanished when it mattered most. The WNBA isn't dying, but it is changing. And if it doesn't embrace that change, it risks losing the very audience it fought so hard to gain. Game 2 of the finals wasn't just a failure, it was a warning shot. A reminder that fans don't owe loyalty. They give it to those who earn it. And as Caitlin Clark's shadow loomed over every empty seat that night, one truth became undeniable. She's not just the future of the WNBA, she's the only thing keeping it alive. Now, what do you think, basketball fans? Is the WNBA ready to face its own reflection? Can A'ja Wilson and the league's veterans adapt to this new era? Or has Caitlin Clark already rewritten the story for good? Let's hear your thoughts below. And if you want to keep following the real drama unfolding in women's basketball, make sure to like this video, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because this story, it's only just beginning.